Alright guys, let's talk about that new Fantastic Four trailer. Right off the bat, I'm just loving the retro futuristic style that they're going with for this. I'm loving like the whole like 1960s like space race vibe. I think it's a really cool way to introduce this team to the MCU. And I also really like the fact that it's taking place in its own universe separate from the current MCU timeline. I honestly think that allows for more creative expression with these characters with this movie, as opposed to feeling like more of the same like a lot of the MCU stuff has felt like recently. But jumping into our first look at the team, first off, I think that Ben Grimm slash The Thing looks awesome. I don't know if the CGI is 100% done yet or whatever, but I think he looks incredible already. And I'm already loving Eben Moss Backrack as him. I think he sounds really good. Obviously, we got our first look at Joseph Quinn as Human Torch. I think he's going to be a lot of fun in this movie. We also got a shot of Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm using her powers. I think it's looking really good so far. I do like the fact that we're going to get a little bit of what like the origin story was, even though this movie won't technically be an origin. I also thought Pedro Pascal looked really good as Reed Richards. I really like the 1960s like sort of dialect that he has in this trailer. And I mean, the team together in these suits, I'm loving these suits. I love how comic booky they feel. I'm really curious to see what their suits end up looking like whenever they eventually join the main MCU timeline. But for now, I think these are awesome. And again, they just look so good together. Come on. Although we did get a shot of Galactus in this trailer, and I don't think this bodes well for this universe surviving, and I think that's probably how they're going to end up in the main MCU timeline. And there is speculation that the Fantastic Four won't be winning at the end of this movie, so I guess we'll find out about that. But yeah, I think this looks great so far. I've been super excited to see these characters join the MCU ever since Marvel got the rights back to them and the X-Men. And I am excited to see the X-Men join the MCU, but not as much as I am for these characters. The Fantastic Four movies from the early 2000s were fun, but they weren't necessarily like amazing movies. And this is one of my most unpopular opinions, but I kind of like the 2015 Fantastic Four. It has a lot of issues, don't get me wrong, but I think there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. But I just think there's been a lot of stuff that's been left unexplored when it comes to these characters, so I'm just excited to see it. Although I have to say, this is coming out the same month that James Gunn's Superman is coming out, so I have to ask, which one are you guys more excited for?